Hi, and welcome back to the Azure Database for MySQL monthly webinar. I'm Shreya Raital. I'm a product manager in the Azure Database for MySQL team. This is our 11th webinar in the monthly live webinar series so far. We kicked off the series in December last year as a channel for open interaction with all of you, for some technical deep dives, and most importantly, to bring you the latest updates and announcements along with our future roadmap. In case you missed any of our previous episodes where we have covered a wide range of topics and demos, you can check out the recording on our YouTube channel. Our handle is at Azure DB MySQL. Now, today, as always, we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. And as always, we will start with 3 deep dive sessions and then move on to cover the latest feature updates and our roadmap. So the first topic of the day, Elendil Zeng is going to walk us through a new set of features that adds more flexible maintenance options to Azure Database for MySQL flexible servers, like the ability to reschedule scheduled maintenance or perform on-demand maintenance as well. Next is another announcement. Azure Database for Azure Database for MariaDB is on the path to retirement by September 2025. Rahul Saha will cover the specifics of this retirement announcements and walk us through how we can easily migrate to Azure Database for MySQL flexible server. And the third topic of the day is a rather interesting one. Rafael is going to show us how we can set up some automation tasks to manage Azure Database for MySQL flexible server resources more efficiently. And at the end, we'll go through the latest feature updates in our service and showcase the upcoming feature roadmap as well. But before we get started, just like always, I want to lay down some ground rules. Let's keep this session as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions or feedback, or you just want to drop a hi and let us know what you want to hear from us or where you're joining us from, do drop it in the live chat window and we'll address them as we go through the session. We also have our product expert, Sudhish Narayan Swami, on the chat window to address few of your questions. Now, let's get started with the very first section, the new flexible maintenance options for MySQL Flexible Server to elevate user convenience and operational flexibility. Inviting Elendil Zeng from the product group to introduce us to these features with the demo. Hi, Elendil. Welcome
Hi,
to the webinar.
Shreya.
Yeah.
Hi,
Could you
Shreya.
introduce yourself before we get started?
Okay, sure. So my name is Elendil. I'm from the Azure MySQL Flexible Server product team. So I'm working on our features, especially related with the maintenance. So I'd like to introduce the new flexible maintenance experience, which is, very. We heard a lot of customers asking these features. They, want more flexibility controls over their current maintenance. So let's go to the demo session. So,
Over to you.
Okay. So first, our flexible maintenance option contains two major features. One is called reschedule window, which means you can tailor your maintenance to best suit your business requirement. And another is called on-demand maintenance. That means that as long as you receive the maintenance notification, then you can trigger this maintenance as you need. Okay, so let's go to this demo session. Okay. Okay, so let's take a quick look overview of our newly revamped maintenance blade for Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server. So we've added some exciting features to empower you with the more control and the transparency during the maintenance. So first up, let's talk about the flexibility. So you'll notice that there is a new reschedule button at the top of the maintenance blade. This button gives you the power to tailor your maintenance schedules, adapting them to better fit your business needs. And for those who want the nitty-gritty, the maintenance details section is for you. Here you can get a detailed look and at the payload for current maintenance, so you're never in the dark about what's happening. Last but not least, we've added a convenient link to our What's New page. With just one click, you'll be redirected to a page that provides a comprehensive rundown of the latest updates, features, and fixes. So let's try to click the reschedule button. Okay, now, once you click the reschedule button, this maintenance reschedule window pops up. So after that, you have the liberty to pick a specific time that best suits your operation. No more hassle. Simply select your preferred time slot for the maintenance to occur. And once you've made your choice, just hit this reschedule button. Your maintenance schedule is now tailored to your needs. It's that simple, and it's part of our ongoing effort to give you more control and flexibility over your Azure database for MySQL experience. But wait, there is more. See this reschedule button to now button? So if you click it, you can initiate a maintenance right away. So that's right, on-demand maintenance is now at your hand. So before proceeding, we'll prompt you with a confirmation. It's crucial to note that triggering on-demand maintenance could result in potential server downtime. So we make sure that you're fully aware before taking this action. So this feature is all about putting you in the driver's seat. So letting you decide when and how maintenance occurs. Now let's talk about keeping you in the loop. For every maintenance reschedule action you take, we will send you an email notification confirming the new schedule. We'll also alert you when the maintenance starts and once it's successfully completed. So from start to finish, you're always informed, or allowing you to plan your operations with greater peace of mind. So in a nutshell, this feature aims to make maintenance as seamless and transparent as possible for you. Yeah, so that's all for the new flexible maintenance experience. Yeah, thank you, Suresh. Thank you, Shreya.
Thanks so much, Elendil, for introducing the features. I love how simplified the experience is, and this really gives us a lot of flexibility in choosing the maintenance window based on our needs. So, thanks so much. I don't see any comments on the chat window. So, yeah, thank you, Elendil. We'll move on to the next topic now.
Yeah, thank you.
The second topic for the day is the MariaDB retirement. We recently announced the deprecation or retirement of the Azure Database for MySQL MariaDB by 19th September 2025. That is 2 years from now. Inviting Rahul Saha from the product group to walk us through the details of this retirement and how to migrate to MySQL Flexible Server. Welcome.
Thank you, Shreya.
Yeah. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. So I am Rahul Saha. I am from the MySQL product group, and I'm also part of the growth PM team. So welcome to today's webinar, where I'll be covering about the retirement of MariaDB and options to migrate from MariaDB to Azure Database for MySQL. Also, it will follow a demo, where I'll explain how to migrate from MariaDB to Azure Database for MySQL. So it will be very much helpful in the future.
Thanks so much, Rahul. Over to you.
Thank you, Shreya. So as Shreya mentioned, so the deprecation for MariaDB is approaching, and we have shared a retirement date, so which is like 19 September 2025, so which is close to around 2 years from now. But there are a few other important dates along with it. I mean, after 19 December 2023, you won't be able to create MariaDB instance from portal. So we'll be blocking that experience from the portal. And after exactly 3 months, we won't be allowing to create any new MariaDB instance. And that happens on 19th March 2024. So what you should do, I mean, what happens after the retirement? So that after the retirement, all the workloads which is running on Azure Database for MariaDB will be deleted, and associated application data will be lost. So that's something like we need to take care, and we need to think what can be done so that all the data which are in MariaDB that can be moved either to a VM or it can be moved to Azure Database for MySQL. So that I'll be explaining those procedure in this webinar, where I'll be showing a demo about it too. So if you move to next slide. So yeah. So why do we want to move to Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server? MariaDB is running well. So because of the retirement plan and feature-rich service of the MySQL, which is running into Flexible Server, so it have lots of better feature. And the next thing is like improvement architecture, like the MariaDB, which runs on single server architecture, and whereas it is like the flexible server have a different architecture from the single server. So there are many other good feature in flexible server, and that makes one of the good endpoint where you need to migrate your MariaDB single servers. For example, some of the features like fast failover, and the control and managed cost, and there are many other features which you can find, which is very much helpful for our customer who are running their workload in MySQL Flexible Server. So how do you migrate? So there would be scenarios where you would like to migrate online or you would like to migrate offline. So both the options are available, and there are a handful amount of tools which you can use for this migration. For example, our preferred tool is like MyDumper, MyLoader, MySQL Shell, and also MySQL Dump also works good for it. So next, I've seen that the versions where MariaDB is running is 10.3. So where exactly you should go if it is MySQL? So all the testing which we have done internally, the best preferred version in MySQL is like MySQL 5.7. So that is the preferred version where you can land from MariaDB 10.3 if you are migrating it. So next I'll show you a demo how it can be done using a MySQL shell tool. So in this demo, there are three to four parts where I'll show how to take backup, how to restore, and how to set up the replication, and then test out the replication. As you can see in this demo, so it's the MySQL Flex, which is like 5.7 version. So this is the target instance. Just wanted to show that it's like it's running, and we'll be migrating our MariaDB instance here. So while we do, the first step we'll be following is like taking a backup. So in this demo, I have used the tool called MySQL Shell. So I'll be taking the backup. So the first step is taking backup. So I have logged in to MySQL Shell prompt, and so in this prompt, I'll be taking the backup, which is like it would take the entire like all the database. It will be taking the backup for all the database. So it was a test database, so it finished very fast. So if it is, let's say, your database size is a huge, so it might take some time, but it is one of the fastest tool available for migrating. And next step, while you have taken this backup, we would like to see what are the content of the backup. So I'm moving to the backup folder where I would like to see all the files. So here you can see all your backup contents which are available. And the most important file for setting up the replication is @JSON. So this file content the beanlog file name and the beanlog position. So these two things will be taking into consideration and set up the replication after some time. So the next step, I would be logging uh, again to MySQL shell, but this time it would be the target, which is the Flex server. So I'll be logging to the Flex server and restore the backup which I've taken from the MariaDB instance. So again, just we need to mention the directory where the backup has been taken, and it would gather all the information and it would restore. So here you can see it's as simple. I mean, it can use the parallelism method and can restore the database. So so here we have seen that, okay, restore is done. So next step would be logging to the target database, which is the Flex, and set up the replication. So before that, I would take the content of @JSON, which I'll be using in my commands. While setting up the replication, I'll be using this bin log file and the position, so which will be helping me to set up the replication. So the next command I'm logging in. I'll be logging into the target server, which is flexible server, and the command it's a stored procedure which will be running, so which have all the content of the master database. So here you can see the MariaDB instance is the source, bin log file, and bin log position. So setting up the replication is done. Next would be starting the replication. That is also done. And next step would be to check the slave status. So there, the slave status is important, where you can check if the slave is running and if there any lag. So here you can see that slave IO and slave SQL is running, which is streaming, and all the data is streaming from MariaDB. So the replication is set between MariaDB and MySQL, and why not to test out? I mean, if it is working or not. So quickly I'm testing out the database. We have a sample database called DB1. So I'll be checking the content of DB1. So just selecting the content. So where you can see there are 3 records. I've taken a simple database so that it can fit well and we can save some time during the demo. So let me log into the source MariaDB and let us insert a record. So going to the database and inserting the record. So the values 4. Okay. So let's go back to Flex server to check if that data replicated or not. So yeah, so again logging back to the database, and we'll be running select star from show tables. We have only one table, and select star type 1. So yeah, so we can see that the record which I've inserted got replicated and it's working fine. So that's all I had for this demo. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, please do reach us.
Thank you so much, Rahul. This was super helpful. Folks, do keep in mind the retirement date is 19 September 2025, so 2 years down the line. But start right away, start planning right away, and we would really recommend that you move to Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server for all the new features that are coming in, and how easy it is. I think Rahul has already demoed, so thank you again, Rahul. Great. Let's move on to the third topic of the day. That is creating automation tasks. Can we get the slides added, please? Great. Yeah. So we are inviting Rafael to just quickly cover how to efficiently manage your flexible servers using some automated tasks. Rafael, really over to you. Do start off with a brief introduction and let us know with the demo.
Yes, thank you, Shreya. And hello, everyone. My name is Rafael Mendizabal. I am a software engineer working on the Azure portal for MySQL Flexible Server. And yeah, today I'll be presenting on automation tasks. And let's move on to the next slide, please. Yeah, so what automation tasks do, and the name really gives it away, is that they enable us to create automated tasks to help you manage your MySQL Flexible Server. So let's think of a scenario. Say you have a server which you don't use as much on the weekend. So maybe you might want to scale down the server on a Friday and then scale it back up on a Sunday, maybe for a cost-cutting reasons for any reason you might have. Maybe you want to stop the server altogether and then start it up again when the weekend ends. This is just one scenario, but what automation tasks enables to do is to schedule these in advance and have them happen routinely without having to intervene. Just a one-time setup, and then you get notifications in your inbox, in your email, letting you know that, hey, the run was successful. And yeah, so they're going to enable you to scale, stop, start, and also send monthly cost notifications. And you can set them by a number of times, so an interval and a frequency. What this means is you can set them up, say, every 2 weeks, every day, or maybe every 5 days. So yeah, they're very customizable. And yeah, let's move on to the next slide, please. So the best way to really see how they work is just to move on to the demo. So what we're going to do in this demo is we're going to stop a server, start, and also scale. And I want to show you how to create these tasks using this feature. And as you can see right now, we are in a server that is currently available. And let's navigate to the tasks blade, which you can find down in the bottom of the menu in the Azure portal. And this is what the automation tasks blade looks like. We have 2 ways of entering the create experience, which is here, these 2 buttons, as well as a short description. So let's go ahead and click on add task. So these are the 4 templates that I was, or operations that I was talking about before, tasks, excuse me. We have send monthly cost for resource, stop the server, start the server, and finally scale the MySQL flexible server. As I said, we're going to stop the server first. And the first time in which you go into this experience, you're probably going to be prompted to add a connection. This is a very easy and straightforward process. I just logged into my account both for Azure Resource Manager and Outlook. So yeah, this is already done on my end. And let's go ahead and click on configure. So this is what the configure blade is going to look like. I'm going to name this task stop server. And just for the demo purposes, I'm going to use this time in advance to schedule this task to run. So I'm going to set it at 7:20 p.m., which again, it's in advance. And my local time, which is Pacific Standard Time. And the interval, I'm going to run it, make it run every week, once every week. And on top of this, I want to get notified on my email that the run has been successful. Or if it fails, I'll also be let known. So let's go ahead and create it. All right. So yeah, so it's now you can see that the blade has changed. We now have a grid with all of the tasks that you have created so far. Let's go into the runs. And as you can see, there are no runs yet. It's not yet the time that we set in advance for this to run. And while we wait for this task to start running. Oh, sorry. So yeah, so we're just waiting for this task to start running. Let's take a look again. And there it is. So it is now 7:20. It is now running. So let's go up into the overview blade. And let's see what the status of the server is now. It is now stopping, which again, confirmation that it is running. Let's go back to the tasks blade. And while we wait for the task to complete, let's go ahead and schedule the tasks to start the server in advance again. So let's go into start MySQL flexible server. Again, this is already done, the connections. Let's go to configure, and we're going to call this start server. We're going to set the time to be at 7:26. So yeah, my local time, which is Pacific Standard Time. And finally, we're also going to set this one to run once every week. And we want a notification as well. All right. So let's go ahead and create this new task. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to wait for the stop server task to complete. And yeah, now you see we have both of them. And here it is. Here's the notification that the automation task successfully stopped the server. It's a very short but straightforward notification. And now let's just go into the runs to view the runs to confirm that this indeed happened. And there it is. The status succeeded. As we had another run, you would also see it there. Let's go to the overview blade, and the status of the server is now stopped. So we have successfully scheduled this task to run, and it has run successfully. Yeah. Let's go back to the tasks. And now we're just going to wait a little bit just for the start server to start running. And there it is. So it is now 7:26 p.m. So the start task has begun. And if we go over to the overview blade again, you're going to see this now in starting status, the server. So let's go back down to the tasks blade. And now we're just going to wait until the start server operation begins. I have to confess, I have shortened up a little bit so we don't have to wait the whole time. But here's what a notification looks like. Automation task successfully started the server, and the success for the status. Let's go take a look at the run just to confirm again. And there it is. And let's go up into the overview blade again, just to see if the server is now available. And it is. So we have now stopped and started the server ahead of by scheduling these tasks ahead of time without having to go in here and stop the server manually. And let's go now into compute and storage place for the last thing we're going to do in this demo, which is we're going to scale the server, scale up the server. It is currently in D2DS v4, so 2 vCores. What we're going to do is we're going to scale up to 4 vCores. Maybe in this scenario, it is the end of the weekend. It's about to be Monday, and you want to scale up the server for the week ahead. And we're going to go to tasks blade. I'm going to show you how to do this as well. So again, we're just going to add a task, and we're going to select Scale MySQL Flexible Server. We're going to, and yes, so this is the configure. There's a bit more things for this one, but I'll show you how to do them. So this stays the same. We're going to call this Scale Server, and we're going to set the time ahead of time as well. We're going to set it to be at 7:32 p.m. The time zone, yeah, my local time zone. Location is the location of the server. The server that I'm using right now is located in East US. So I want to put that down. The school name, here you can see a standard D2DS V2 would be an example of something you input. In this case, we want to scale up the server to standard D4DS V4. And the tier that we want is general purpose. And the interval and frequency are the same as previous. We want this to happen every week, once every week. And we also want the notification. As you can see, the notification's optional, but I prefer it, yeah, for demo, just to show you what the notification looks like for every single one of them. So there it is. It is now in the grid scale server. And I'm just going to give it a little time to get started. So let's go take a look at the runs and see. So it is now 7:32 p.m. At the time of the demo. So it is now running. So let's go take a look at my email notification that I received. So it specifies also the new school as well that it was scaled up to. And let's take a look at the runs. And there it is again. It has succeeded. We can see also in the view runs. Let's go over to compute and storage. And we have now changed it by scheduling this scaling ahead of time. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. I hope that this demo you found very useful and that you can find in this task a lot of in this feature a lot of useful things to do. Thank you. That's all I had for today. Back to you, Shreya.
Thank you so much, Rafael. So, folks, if you have repetitive management tasks like like Rafael showed, starting, stopping the server, optimizing costs over the weekend by doing that, or scaling the servers during your peak hours, this is the perfect feature for you. Here's a link, ak.ms MySQL automation tasks, for you to go and check out more. Thank you so much again, Rafael.
Thank you.
Great. Now let's move to the final section. Let's take a look at our latest updates and announcements and the upcoming roadmap as well. So the first announcement is related to Azure Database for MariaDB, which Rahul Saha already covered earlier today. The service is on the retirement path, will be retired by 19 September 2025. We encourage you to migrate to Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server, which has more enhanced feature capabilities, as well as more granular control, the features that Rahul did mention earlier today. For more information, you can check out this link, which is our docs link. In terms of the MySQL Flexible Server features, here are the 3 new releases this month. First, flexible maintenance options, again, was already covered earlier today by Elendil. You now have the option to reschedule maintenance windows and even instantly initiate maintenance with the reschedule now option. Second, you have the on-demand backup and export. Now, this is a new feature that provides you an ability to export at moment physical backup of the server to your Azure storage account, that is blob storage, using a CLI command. Once exported, these backups can be used for data recovery, for migration, for data redundancy and availability, or even auditing and other purposes. This feature is currently in private preview, and you can write to us on our email ID to enroll. And the third one is the universal geo restore feature. If you've configured your server for geo redundant backups, so far you've had the ability to restore to geo paired regions, right? Now, in public preview is the ability to geo restore to any Azure supported region. This can strengthen your DR strategy in case of regional disasters as well. Now, here is the roadmap of all the upcoming features. Let's go through them one by one. The first one is accelerated logs. This is an exciting new feature launching in preview this month. It is aimed to improve database server performance for your mission critical workloads under the business critical tier, the highest tier that we offer, by automatically storing the transactional logs on a faster storage, which will help throughput of the servers. More about this feature will be coming announced soon, so stay tuned. Second is error logs and server logs. This feature provides you the option to view and download error logs up to 8 days under the server logs option that's already there in the portal. This will help you analyze and troubleshoot your issues. Again, this is also currently in private preview. Third is a long-term retention of backups. Previously, Azure Database for MySQL allowed for automated backups as well as on-demand backups to be retained up to 35 days. Now, with long-term retention, you can retain the backups up to 10 years, which will further aid your audit and compliance needs as well. This is also currently in private preview. Fourth one, new feature in this list. I don't think we've shared this before, but we're working on an HA readable standby feature. You must all be at this point familiar with HA, high availability, and read replica concepts, right? Now, with HA readable standby, we provide the read capacity for your HA standby servers without having to provision a separate read replica. What this means is you can enjoy improved performance of the primary server as the HA standby can be used for scaling read workloads, etc., at no extra cost. Right? This will be in private preview somewhere in the end of this year, that is Q4 of this calendar year. And the next three are related to migration. I think we have covered this before, the MySQL import feature, which is currently in public preview, where you can migrate from single server to flexible server, especially suitable for really large workloads. And it offers a simple, fast migration path to restore the source server's physical data files to the target server. And all of this can be done by running a single CLI command. And the second one in the migration set is the MySQL import for external migrations. Similar, simple, fast migrations for heavy workloads, especially those, say, above 1 TB from external sources. It could be from anywhere outside of Azure onto Azure Database for MySQL Flexible Server. Now, this will use your physical backup copy, which could be obtained through Percona Extra Backup. And that should be stored in the Azure Blob storage, and we use that data to provision and restore to the MySQL Flexible Server. Again, this provides really fast migrations. And if you've seen our previous webinars, Aditi Gupta had demoed how quick the single server to flexible server migrations are, and that's what we're trying to aim: simple, fast migrations. And the last one in migrations is the MySQL discovery and assessment in Azure Migrate. Now, with this functionality, you can use the Azure Migrate service, which will help you discover MySQL servers in your environment, assess them by identifying their compatibility to check if they're compatible to move to Azure Database for MySQL or not, and also receive compute and storage SKU recommendations along with cost for you to make an informed decision of how to move, which SKU to move to, how much cost it will take, and whether you're ready to move or not. And finally is the support for Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So all the migration features, if you see most of them, the next milestone is by end of the year. And for Defender for Cloud, it's the first quarter in next year. And we're really excited to release all these features as soon as possible. If you want to try any of the features that are in private preview, do write to us at askAzureDB for MySQL at service.microsoft.com, and we'll make sure that you can enroll as soon as possible into our private preview for any of these features. So team, that's all we had for today. As we close out, I'll leave you with 3 things. First, to learn more about our service, you can use these resources or feel free to reach out to us on our email ID. Second, stay tuned for more updates and announcements by following us on social media and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Our handle on YouTube as well as Twitter is at AzureDB MySQL. And finally, if you want to feature in our upcoming webinars or collaborate with us on any collateral, right? It could be video, it could be blogs, any collateral whatsoever. Fill this form and let us know. And you can use the same form for any feedback on this session, or if you have any suggestions for upcoming topics that we should be covering, use the same form as well. That's all. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode. See you all in our next session next month on the 8th of November at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you all.